Welcome to the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast with your host, Brandon Seigel. I'm a published author, speaker, entrepreneur, and private practice strategist dedicated to transforming the way that healthcare functions. This podcast is all about empowering you to create the change you want to see. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast. In this episode, we're talking about enhancing your relationship-based marketing approach. So I want you to do me a favor. Tell me the earliest time someone marketed to you in which it made an impact. And I want you to think on that for a moment, because when we think about marketing, what do we typically always kind of like poo-poo? We typically use one analogy. I don't want to be this, or I don't want that. This is an experience I don't want. What do you think that is? It's usually car sales. So, and to dial it even more, it's you sound like a used car salesman. A used car salesman is not utilizing a relationship-based marketing approach. A used car salesman is utilizing a sales cycle where you are just a dollar sign, in my opinion. So when I think about like my best marketing experiences, like when I've felt very valued, okay? Recently, I got an email from the Tampa Bay Rays, because I am a huge Tampa Bay Rays fan with my son, Jonah. And it said, "Let's celebrate Jonah's birthday with the Rays." And you're like, well, Brandon, and I'm like, that to me was a relationship-based marketing approach in some way, because what they did is they took data about me that they knew, and they focused on an area that had emotional response from me, in which it's like, hey, we know you like to come to baseball. We know you like to bring your son, Jonah. We know Jonah's birthday is coming up because he's one of our young Rays fans. And we've got this great opportunity for you to create a memory on behalf of his birthday. To me, I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're trying to sell me tickets to their game because no one goes to Rays games. But beyond that, they're utilizing an approach where I feel they actually are invested in what their product can do to help me. So they're saying, hey, our product can help you because our baseball game will make your son's birthday one that he'll never forget. So when I get back to the private practices and I think about this idea of relationship-based marketing, I can tell that the majority of people, the bar is so low. I'm just going to say it that way. The bar is so low. How many practices do you know send birthday cards? Very few. How many that do that actually make it so that there is a hand-created feel and it doesn't just feel like a computer-generated? How many people market in a way where they say, hey, we noticed that you come in. So even something like this, Brandon, we noticed you come in 3 times a week to our establishment, and you've never taken advantage of the following ABC. We recognize that this actually may be a better experience for you, and here is why. And we know that this is your ideal time. This is what we've seen you like. And we want to make sure that we continue to enhance your experience. Investing in someone with data and showing them that you're looking at them beyond a number, it's really important. So how could the used car salesman change into a relationship-based marketing approach? So first and foremost, they sell you the car, okay? When you go home, they send you some kind of thing to say, hey, We think you need a cool keychain with your name on it to match the keys of the car you bought. And if you don't mind, we want to give you updates on things to remember about your car so that you have the best experience. And they've got tips and they've got tricks and they've got, hey, different things. And maybe it's the kind of thing where even that salesperson says, hey, Brandon, we're coming up on 12 months with the car. I want to just check in on you. Uh, any issues? Do you want me to get our team together to look at your car? Can we make any enhancements for you? Is there anything that's not feeling good about the car? That element can be a game changer. And I say this because the minute marketing matters is when we take data we know and we invest in communication that creates a better experience for someone. So we're going to say that again. When we are able to take data and utilize that data to apply and create a better experience for our customer or prospective customer. Plain and simple. So I know that one of my clients takes off for the summer. So maybe it's as simple as, hey, I know you're taking off for the summer. I'd love to be a resource to anyone that needs me. Do you want your team to reach out to me while you're away? Is there something I can do on your behalf? Is there a way that I can make your experience better? Just how do we invest in these relationships? How do we make them matter? And so I like to utilize the reason why Disneyland is successful is because they create an experience where they make you feel like they have a relationship with you. So from the moment you walk into the doors of Disneyland, there's magic. You don't have to know someone to create a relationship with them. We create relationship every day. So it could be something as simple as I see you and you have red hair. I'm like, hey, Ginger, how you doing? Nice to meet you. How can I help you? What's going on today? Like, how's the hair hanging? We find ways to relate with each other in which we develop relationship based on relatability. The idea that they connected the game to my son's birthday was a way they related an opportunity that may be meaningful to me. So to build authentic personal connections, we need to focus on genuine interactions rather than transactional exchanges. Again, the car salesman we think of as a transactional exchange. Because here's the deal. Once they sell the car, do they ever reach out to you again? They do. When do they reach out to you? When your lease is about to expire or when they have a new car coming out. That's not a genuine interaction. That is a transactional exchange. You need to take the time to understand each client's unique situation, preferences, and goals. You need to remember that personal details about their lives and reference them in future conversations. Hey, Jonah's birthday. There you go. This creates a foundation of trust that goes beyond the professional service you provide. I had one of the most magical experiences as a potential customer to a marketing component. And I'll never forget, I won't name the establishment, or you know what, I'm going to give them credit. I'm going to name the establishment. I was touring hotels for my conference, and I went to the Hard Rock Hotel in San Diego. And I've never had a better customer experience than I had when I went to tour that hotel. And let me tell you why. So I walk in, and I was there 20 minutes early, didn't want them to know, and I just kind of wanted to experience. And I'm not exaggerating, they had my conference logo on all the TV screens. They had all this information. And again, they're trying to sell me, I get that, but they took the time to really personalize the entire hotel. I'm not talking a sales room, the entire hotel had growth code conference. They literally changed the entire environment, the colors, the everything, because they wanted to show me how they could create and create the most amazing experience. That they could take a hotel and adapt it to anything and everything, including my conference. But that wasn't what was magical. So I come in and that's the first thing. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. I've done hundreds of hotel tours, never had this to this extent. And then I do my meeting, I do my walkthrough, I do all this stuff. And the gentleman I'm meeting with goes, Brandon, I understand that you have two really important team members and employees that create change in your practice. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I didn't even know. And he studied my website to see that I have my two dogs on my website, Archie and Goldie. And he had custom stuff made for Chester, or for Archie and Goldie. Chester is my older love of my life dog. Archie and Goldie, literally both of them had that. But then he doubled down and he said, you came with your family to San Diego, right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I want your kids to have the most magical experience. And so this is what I'd like to do. I'd like you to pick something out for them special so that they know you were here. And he's like, it's on me. And he went, and he didn't have to do this. And I want to be clear, although my conference is awesome and great and whatever, I'm sure he has much bigger conferences. But he wanted to create a relationship with me. And to this day, my son wears that shirt. It is his favorite shirt. And it's a hard rock shirt, but the guitar and all, and he loves it. My point is that genuine interaction, understanding me, taking and researching personal details, it was transformational. Now, if you ask me, did he close the deal? Not yet. He didn't. That wasn't him. Transactionally, there were some things, but for the rest of time, I will never forget that experience, that relationship he built. He has a loyalty to me that even if I can't use his hotel next year, I will pay it forward to him. I will stay there. I will recommend it. I will probably put an event on because let's just say he spent $100 on merch. The experience, time, and doing something I didn't expect created a personal connection that I will always remember. And it doesn't have to cost you $100. But look at how $100 created a lifetime loyalty to the brand of hard rock. Pretty cool. So as we look at this, we need to start to develop a client-centric communication system. We need to create multiple touch points through the client journey. We need to send personalized welcome messages to new clients, follow up after appointments with relevant resources, maintain regular check-ins even during inactive periods. Use preferred communication channels, whether that's email, phone calls, text messages, and tailor them to the style of what they communicate. One of the things in the way that I develop relationships, if you email me, I will respond literally usually in less than 24 hours. Now, don't hold me to it, but my goal is always like same day. And people are like, how do you do that? And I'm like, because I prioritize that relationship. And I want that to come from me. So when you email me, unless you're spamming me, now if you're soliciting me, I don't respond. But if you're truly genuinely trying to create a relationship with me, 100% you're going to hear from me. And we're going to create that relationship. And I think that regardless of how that is to me, what brings me fulfillment is the relationships I develop with my clients. Truly. It's one of the things that I love about life is creating these relationships. You have an opportunity. Your team has an opportunity. And so leveraging social proof and testimonials, encouraging satisfied clients to share that experience, testimonials, case studies, online reviews, create a systematic approach for requesting feedback at optimal moments in the client relationship and sharing those success stories. So it's very interesting. I recently had what I classified as a bad experience, but the prospective client may not. I don't know how she felt. But I had this prospective client that was interested in our medical billing services. And I said, let's set up a call. Let's break it down. Very transparently, I'm going to tell you whether I'm a fit or where to go or whatever. I refer probably 25% of people that reach out right off the bat. I'm like, I'm not a right fit, but let me help you and let me refer you. The remaining 75%, probably 75% are the fit, and we go through our process. And then there's another 25% where we just brainstorm and connect, and sometimes I solve different problems for you. But in this case, like, she wanted a discovery call. I'm like, let's do it. We jump on it. It was short. We didn't have as much time as we should have, which just our schedules were tough. But what was interesting, she goes, hey, Brandon, would you mind if my medical billing person joins us? I'm like, no worries. So I'm going through the whole discovery call. And part of my discovery call is like, hey, what do you know about me? What do you know about my company? Let's get a little background so you know who you're dealing with. This is what I understand of you. This is what I studied. Is this correct, etc. And as I'm going through this process, the billing person cuts me off. And she says, hey, just cut to it. What do you do? She went straight to transaction. And it caught me really off guard because I was trying to leverage relationship based. And what I recognized was they don't care about me. They don't care about what I do. They just want ABC, which right off the bat, if that's what they want, they're not for me. Because I want a relationship. And maybe it was, who knows, but I ultimately gave them what they wanted, what she was asking. I'm like, here's all the data you're looking for. But I said to the woman when the billing lady rushed off, I said, look, I don't know what, how, when, why, or who she wants. I said, this isn't how I do business. I said, I am relationship oriented. I want to sit down. I want to learn about you. I want you to learn about me. I want to align our personalities to make sure this is a fit. Because I don't just bill, I invest in your business. When you hire my medical billing company, you get me. I'm your COO and your CFO. Like, this isn't just me setting out claims. We really handpick our clients because I want to be invested in the growth and the success of your company. And nonetheless, I said, here are 25 practices that will vouch for me. I'm happy to send them your way. Here are some even in your back of the woods. I go, here's all the things about me that you can learn, studying, whatever. And ultimately, I never heard back from her. I said, hey, just curious. And she's like, oh, I'll look at all this. They were looking not for a relationship, but what I think was they were looking for a Band-Aid. They weren't actually looking for a long-term relationship. Even though I do a month, there's no risk. They ultimately were looking for a quick fix, not a relationship fix. And so understanding that in your marketing approach is really crucial. And so no matter what she wasn't looking for a relationship. So everything I put together in social proof didn't matter to her. But for me, that did what I needed. It repelled the client that isn't a right fit for me. I need a client that wants to invest in a relationship because relationships allow us to continue to adapt, change, and grow together. So we need to implement value-added content marketing. We need to share educational content that addresses your client's pain points and interests. This can include blogs, newsletters, webinars, social media content, etc. But it can be catered to them. Focus on solving problems. So what if you got an email from me that was every month 30 tips for 30 days of ways that you can supercharge your private practice? I'm just giving you an idea. Whatever that is, you have to figure out your medium, your message, whatnot. Part of what I do in this podcast, it's a marketing action. It's if I educate you, if what I do resonates with you, and if you feel like I'm here sitting on your couch talking to you, you get to know me, all redheadedness of me, then you might need my services. You might benefit from my services. You might know someone who needs my services. But I'm here, one, to create relationships, obviously by putting out my personality. People reach out and say, oh, we got to connect. But it is an educational approach. And so whether you do podcasts, newsletters, blogs, webinars, social media, or the combo, this is really important to how we create relationship-based marketing. And so creating a community and networking. So I've got, client appreciation events, educational workshops, networking sessions that bring people together. That's one of the things that I do in my conference, actually, is bringing all these practices together to collaborate, learn, grow, and create an experience that they've never had. So that experience that I had in San Diego, I try to create in my conference for every single attendee, because there is nothing greater than that feeling of like, oh my God, you know me without knowing me. That's important. So this positions you as a connector, a resource within your professional community, while strengthening relationships with your existing clients who may refer others to your practice. You don't know. And this can translate to hiring as well. Your clients might know your perfect staff members. We need to personalize our service delivery. Customize the approach based on the individual client needs and preferences. Adjusting how you approach your communication frequency, service delivery, keeping detailed notes about each client's preferences, how they respond, how they pay, all those different pieces. Have it standardized, but having that personalized approach can really make an impact. So even the element of, what if if you're running a high-level physical therapy ortho clinic, what if you know that your ideal client needs water and you've got custom water stations with branded water bottles and you've got little different things to freshen up, and when they enter, there's an experience, and when they exit, there's a different experience, and how that consistently engages, because sometimes they're coming in 2-3 times a week, and how you evolve that to say, hey, happy anniversary, you just hit 12 visits, good job, blah, 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 whatever that is. We need to establish strategic partnership networks with our relationship building approach. We need to build relationships with complementary professionals who serve our target market. So when I mention the resources that I mentioned in this podcast, I mentioned resources. Just so you know, none of those companies know that I'm mentioning them. They don't. And I don't get a single dollar. I don't get I believe in them. I have complementary relationships with them. And the way that we work is, if I can help someone for you, I'd love to help them. And if you can help someone for me, I'd love to refer them. It's that simple. Develop your referral network based on mutual trust, shared values, rather than transactional arrangements. I utilize the statement, I have no skin in the game. Why? It builds trust. If I told you that Econologics gives me $1,000 for every referral, that is a transactional reason for me to refer. It takes away the value of the referral, because I am referring to it based on an incentive. So I don't take incentives, because if I do take incentives, then my referral is different. So when I refer to Econologics, I have no skin in the game. I am a client of theirs. The only thing is they do sponsor some of my events. But other than that, it really is 100% pure. They do not expect me to refer. They do not ask me to refer, but I love what they do, and I want others to experience it. I have other accounts like that. Then I have accounts that say, Brandon, we want to sponsor. And then, like, we want to actually pay for your promotion. Then I go, hey, this is a paid promotion, but this is why I agreed to this paid promotion. But I am benefiting from this promotion. And that's okay, as long as you say it and you believe it. But if you promote something that doesn't make an impact on someone else, it does impact your credibility, plain and simple. And so understanding what that network looks like is important. You need to communicate and collaborate with these partners and create a steady stream of relationship, bringing them together. Use technology to scale personal touch. So implementing CRMs, customer relationship management. I'm about to implement a new one with Greg Todd. So Greg Todd, in my opinion, is one of the greatest marketers of our generation in healthcare. He knows how to create an abundance of impact for healthcare providers. And I have no skin in the game. I am a client of his. I subscribe to his coaching because I believe in what he does. And so I went to him and I actually said, hey, buddy, I want you to help me implement a new CRM. I'm not happy with what I'm doing. And he literally is like, we're going to set it all up, buddy. I'll do it. My team will do it. We'll get you all going and grinding. And I bring that up because sometimes we need to rely on others to help us get this, because I can create the relationship, but sometimes I need the tools. I need the technology. And the key to successful relationship-based marketing is consistency and authenticity. I'm going to say that again. The key to successful relationship-based marketing is consistency and authenticity, plain and simple. Focus on building long-term value for your clients rather than short-term transactions. And your practice will naturally grow through referrals and repeat business from satisfied clients who trust you as their go-to. So there's this thing called drip marketing. Drip, drip, drip. You got it. Drip marketing. It's a strategic approach to customer engagement. I have mixed feelings on drip marketing. So in theory, I agree with drip marketing. So drip marketing is an automated communication strategy that sends pre-written messages to customers or prospects over time, like a drip irrigation system that delivers water slowly and steadily to plants. Drip marketing delivers content gradually to nurture those leads and maintain customer relationships. So it's like a life cycle. So in theory, I like drip marketing. However, I also don't like it. So I like it when it's done right. I don't like it when I know it's drip marketing. And typically the drip marketing is when it's a funnel. I want to be clear. What I like, what I dislike, and what works and doesn't work, they're different objectives. So does funnel marketing work? 100%. What is funnel marketing? Just so we're on the same page. Funnel marketing is basically where you're coming in and they're drip marketing you to get you to a sales cycle. So imagine, just to put this into context with healthcare, you say, hey, we're putting on this free event at our healthcare clinic. Come get free IVs and enjoy. They come in, they do that. Then they leave, and it's like, now it's like, hey, they get an email, thanks for coming, and do you want to sign up for our free class? And free class will meet every Wednesdays, and they sign up for the free class. And then the free class is, now in order to implement this, you need to sign up for our one-to-one coaching at our clinic, and blah, 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 blah. And then it's that. And it's this funnel to get you to spend more often. It usually is a combination of drip with funnel, meaning that it's bringing you into a lead magnet and driving you to an end goal of spending. When I don't like it is when I'm like, okay, what's the next sales cycle? What's the next sales cycle? What's the next sales cycle? I don't like that. When it nurtures relationship and when I have a choice in what that drip looks like. So as a customer, identify any areas of knowledge you would love to be granted by us, and identify the frequency of what you want that communication, when, how, why, and the way you want it communicated. I love it. So sometimes we utilize drip marketing as a necessity. Sometimes we utilize drip marketing as an opportunity. So anyone that's coming to the Growth Code Conference, you're going to see that I've set a drip camp, a marketing based on calendar, not based on life cycle of the attendee. So you're going to get, on this date, everyone who signed up gets this. On this date, there's the next. And it's a journey of preparing you for the conference. So I'm using the drip marketing approach to drive engagement as the conference gets closer so that you're prepared for all the fun we're going to have. So here are some key components of drip marketing. Automation forms the backbone of drip marketing. So messages are triggered by a specific event or scheduled intervals, allowing businesses to maintain consistent communication without manual intervention. The automation relies on marketing software that tracks user behavior, delivers appropriate content at optimal times. Then we've got segmentation. So segmentation ensures messages reach the right audience. Campaigns target specific groups based on demographics, behavior, purchase history, or position in the sales funnel. A new subscriber receives different content than a repeat customer, making communication more relevant and effective. And then personalization. We enhance the engagement by tailoring content to individual recipients. Beyond using names and subject lines, effective drip campaigns adjust messaging based on past interactions, preferences, and behaviors. I want to be crystal clear. That email I got from the Raise, that was a drip marketing that says, identify everyone that takes their child who has a birth date in their system because they're part of the Raise fan club. Simple, straightforward, but did it make me feel special? Of course it did. Common types of drip campaigns. We've got welcome series, introducing new subscribers to the brand, typically spanning 3 to 5 emails that share company values, popular products and services, special offers, etc. We have abandoned cart reminders. If someone's like signing up for something, maybe they signed up for the intake process, but they never followed through. That's an abandonment. We'll send those reminders. Re-engagement campaigns. Maybe they came in and they became inactive and we reactivate them. Educational sequences, providing value through tutorials, tips, industry insights, etc. And then obviously there's also post-purchase follow-up. So even, hey, they just came into your clinic. Here are 5 things for that you should be focused on after coming to our clinic today, or whatever that may be. So those are some examples of different drips. So here are some statistics related to drip marketing success. Healthcare email marketing delivers $36 to $42 ROI per dollar spent, with physical therapy practices achieving above average performances through personalized campaigns. These are just, I'm focusing on PT to pick one kind of area of specialty. Physical therapy practices implementing email nurture campaigns achieve 300 to 600% revenue growth with 500% ROI on email marketing investments. Drip email campaigns in healthcare show 56% higher view rates and 170% higher click-through rates compared to regular marketing emails. Automated reminder systems reduce physical therapy no-show rates by 10 to 40%, with SMS reminders showing 31% reduction. That's pretty impressive. And so the bottom line is this. What they're showing is that drip marketing is more successful in healthcare space than any other space because of the importance of what our services mean to the patient. So how to nurture relationships without it feeling like a sales cycle? Because again, no one wants to be that used car salesman. Lead with empathy and curiosity. Focus on shared values and mission. Educate, don't pitch. Be consistently visible, not invasive. Create a welcoming environment. So my whole thing is, I'm not here to sell you my product. I'm here to solve a problem and find you a solution, whether I'm the solution or not. That's how I develop relationships. So being able to nurture and create and identify, literally the name in my email signature is Chief Problem Solver. This is what I choose to be. This is what you can be for your patients as well. Build trust through transparency. Celebrate those small wins and milestones with your partners, with your patients, etc. Invite feedback and collaboration, and stay mindful of the timing and tone, really understanding that piece. And so some tools that you want to keep in mind to optimize your relationships through marketing: your CRM platforms like Keep, Infusionsoft, Salesforce, HubSpot, email marketing automation through like ActiveCampaign and other resources, content marketing, blogs, webinars, podcasts, social media engagement, LinkedIn and Instagram, and then feedback and review tools like SurveyMonkey, etc. Personalization strategies are really important. You want to personalize, you want to have a loyalty program, you want to utilize marketing analytics, you want to have educational campaigns, and you want to be community building. So I do a lot of private groups and allowing those groups to nurture and curate each other with their own content of Q&A, etc. And so I'm going to give you a quick kind of case study just so that you know. This was an SLP clinic that turned relationships into a multi-clinic success. And so this was a doctor. She actually had a PhD as well as being an SLP. She was a seasoned SLP. She launched a company called Bright Path Speech and Language in a small Florida suburb. And again, I changed names. I don't want you to find out who she is, but with a vision grounded in family-centered care. Her initial clinic grew through word of mouth, but growth plateaued. So her challenge was, despite positive outcomes and client satisfaction, she struggled to expand beyond its original location, and referrals were inconsistent. Her marketing efforts felt generic and disconnected from her mission. And so she took a shift to relationship-based marketing. She went from a transactional outreach to intentional relationship-first strategy and focused on authentic connection with clients, families, and referral sources. She actually built a referral relationship-oriented person that was a social worker. And that social worker derived the actual market approach to her practice. And so parent empowerment workshops were part of that. Monthly in-house sessions help parents feel supported, valued, and equipped, deepening loyalty and increasing referrals. She had a pediatrician collaboration model. Instead of cold outreach, she invited pediatricians to shadow days at the clinic. They created shared language, trust, and mutual investment in outcomes. She had a story-driven content marketing. So her team launched a blog and short video series highlighting real client stories with permissions, connecting emotionally with new families, and then she created her own private community group, which was closed with local groups of parents where they could ask clinician-shared tips, celebrated milestones, answered, and had a featured community specialist in each month's meeting. Within 18 months, client referral tripled, with 72% citing community recommendations were the reason for this. And so pediatricians became top referral source after a year of strategic engagement, and they expanded to 2 clinics, hired 5 additional SOPs to meet the demand. And so it's important that we look at the ways that we connect as a community and we foster community. Did you know that 86% of small business customers trust recommendations from relationship-based marketing, compared to only 2% who trust traditional advertising, demonstrating its superior effectiveness in driving customer loyalty? This was based on a study, Impact, in 2025 that was posted. So, inspired by Zig Ziglar, the great, build relationships, not just transactions. Genuine connections with your team and clients are the foundation of a thriving business. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Private Practice Survival Guide. Don't forget, like us, subscribe, review us, reach out to me. I'm here. I want to help you, because together we can thrive, not just survive. Thank you for tuning in to the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast. I'm incredibly grateful to each and every one of you. Exciting news. We're now available everywhere, from Spotify to Apple Podcasts to YouTube, or anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts. So watch, listen, and reach out. If you loved this episode, please drop a 5-star review. It truly means the world to me. Are you looking for more ways to elevate your practice? If so, now is your chance. Reach out, go to my website, or email me at brandon@wellnessworksmp.com. And remember, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving.